Hello, my soul. If you've been longing to be picked, please take a moment to think about this, not to find answers. For the record, you want love, right? But maybe what you really want is to feel good about yourself without having to be picked. I have some good news for you. Your worth was never up for grabs. Don't look for someone to choose you for the next 7 days. Instead, every morning and every night, tell yourself this truth. I choose myself. I am already enough. Do this over and over again. Let this help you get better. Let this be the start of your comeback. Now, I want to start off slowly. The desire to be picked is based on something much older than romance. Not being rejected, but something softer. A lot of us carry a hurt that we didn't choose, and that we didn't know was telling the story of who we are. Now that we know what the pain is, we need to figure out where it came from. Because you can't blame the branches once you know what the roots are. As kids, we understand love through the lens of how to stay alive. Love isn't something we just notice. It's built into us. Because of this, if love only came when you were calm, helpful, successful, and agreeable, your nervous system learned that being picked on meant you were safe. Comfort came after obedience, love after success, and presence only after perfection. Then, somewhere inside, a belief started to say, I have to earn love. I need to be picked. If I don't get picked, I must not be good enough. It wasn't always mean when these texts came through. They would sometimes come in silence, in the look that went away when you cried too loudly, in the praise that only came when you did well, the attention that felt like it was limited. That's how you learn to edit yourself, to show what you can do, to look for praise like it was air you had to breathe. It's not because you were broken. It's because you were smart, not tolerant, ready to meet. Love that seemed to depend on how well you did made you think that your worth was something you had to work for. As time went on and partners came and went, the wound didn't go away. It changed over time. Asking in a more grown-up way, the adult heart asked, why didn't they choose me? What did I do wrong? What do they have that I don't? Each time we were turned down, it brought back the idea we didn't know we had. I must be missing something. But my love, let's take a break. You are not a lost piece. You're not a tryout. You're not sitting on a shelf waiting to be picked out like an item. Let us take a closer look, sir. It's not about ego if you need to be picked, if you have anxious attachment. It's about safety. To be picked is to stay alive. You take a deep breath when someone leans in. It feels like the air is gone when they take a step back. To ease the pain, you run toward the person who is running away from you. The fear of being turned down is turned around if you have avoidant habits. You're afraid of being picked too quickly. You're afraid of the closeness you want. Get away from people before they get away from you. The hurt is the same either way. I don't feel safe until someone wants me. Then, without us realizing it, culture makes this stronger. Movies end with the kiss, not with the person getting better. We learn in books that love is the end goal and the prize. People in your family might ask, why are you still single? As if being alone were a failure instead of a way to be free. This makes a simple equation in your head. Single, not chosen. Not chosen, not good enough. What if that math isn't true, though? What if other people never had control over how much you were worth? Let's kindly untangle this illusion right now. Who picks you doesn't tell you how valuable you are. How fully you choose yourself is how you measure it. Not once, but every day, in front of the mirror. in the limits of in the way you laugh, in the way you look at yourself when no one else is there. Nobody was born to be found like treasure. People were born to remember that they are treasure. Now put your hand over your heart. Feel that beat. That beat is ready to go without anyone telling it to stop. That is the sound of your heart beating faster because you know you've had enough. You are still whole even if no one ever picks you again. Your inner door stays open even if all the other doors close. When love doesn't knock, it's only because you need to knock on your own soul. You'll notice something new one day, that the need to be picked has gone away, that someone else's choice no longer affects your peace, that being alone doesn't make you less happy. You'll smile at that moment, not because someone picked you, but because you did it in the end. And my dear, what a lovely start that will be, art that will. Have you ever thought about how the need to be picked creeps into your daily life? Not with big statements, but with small choices, the ones you make alone, that no one else sees, and that leave you a little less full every time. At first it seems harmless. You lie and say yes when you really mean no. You offer help even though you're worn out. Somewhere inside you thinks, maybe if I give enough, they'll finally see me. So you listen, care, support, and make space for them, but not because you mean to. You don't need much, just a call, something. There's a smile that says, you matter. But when silence comes back, it doesn't just hurt. It confirms the story that's been going through my head. I must not be enough unless someone chooses me. Could we hold on to that for a second? Do not judge it, but to get it. People-pleasing isn't always kind. It can be a way to stay alive when love felt conditional. Overgiving isn't always charity. It's often a hidden prayer. Please don't leave. There are no flaws in these designs. They have changed over time, and they had a start. You may remember the first time someone praised you after you did something good. It's possible that love found you when you were ready, not when you were a mess. Someone may have ignored you until you won their attention, which made you think that your worth was something that could be negotiated. Now that you're an adult, you might find that you hide the truth to avoid getting into a fight. Not telling anyone when something is wrong, not being honest when they say it's okay. You feel this way not because you're weak, but because you still think you could lose love if you're too much. We should take a break now, but not to point fingers, but with kindness. The kid inside you didn't do anything wrong. All they wanted to do was stay safe. For kids, safety often means being quiet. You are no longer that child, though. You now have the power to change the rules. Nearby, you can see it all. The quiet ways we look for proof of our worth. It's been hours and your heart is racing because you're not sure if what you said was right. Giving someone a pass when they keep taking and never give back. You stay in places that drain you just to avoid the sound of being alone. Make your truth softer so no one feels uncomfortable by twisting yourself. It's not just bad habits. They mean something. Urges to go back home. Asking, what part of me still thinks I need to be chosen in order to be whole? It's okay if it takes a while to answer. You don't have to stop feeling to heal. You just have to start listening, not just to other people, but also to yourself. Say this slowly with me. I see myself even when no one else does. I hear my own voice even when no one answers. Even when love is withheld, I do not give up my heart. We can start to deeply notice things right now, taking note of how often you give up your limits to fit in. How often do you think that attention is love? Often you look outside of yourself for something that's been inside you the whole time. And when the pain comes back, when you check your phone, hold your breath and check it again. Put your hand over your heart and whisper, "I'm important, even if I'm not picked." If you're honest with yourself, you already know this. You were never meant to be someone else's proof of love. You were meant to be your own promise of worth. I used to believe that I could finally rest if someone saw me for real. I thought that if I could just be enough for someone else, the pain, the doubt, and the reflection in the mirror would finally stop. So I spent years circling around acceptance, thinking that attention was love, and I waited for love like it was a lifeboat. But help never came. When I was about to fail, I understood that what I had been waiting for was already mine. I didn't miss love at all. I missed feeling like I belonged to myself. This change, even though it sounds easy, asks a lot of us. You are not broken. That's the truth. You have been trained. That need to be accepted didn't come from your heart. It came from over and over again. From praise given when you did what they said. From love given as a reward, taken away as a punishment. From years of learning that how enough you were based on how other people felt about you. So you changed. You bent over. You tried to become what they liked, what they needed, and what kept them coming back. It worked at first, but then it stopped. Somewhere inside you still whispered, "There must be more," even as you changed forms. You're not the only one who feels this way. This pain has been brought up by everyone I've sat with in healing groups. The shapes are different. I don't know how to belong to myself is still at the heart of it. But here is the call. Don't fix it. Rethink it. Why should you fail at love if you're not? But what if you're just growing out of a pattern that wasn't meant to hold your truth? You don't go after love. It's something you come back to, from inside. Love doesn't go away when you start to feel like you belong to yourself. It makes sense. It doesn't come to save you. It shows you what's already inside you. Let's look into that together. Being accepted by other people isn't what it means to belong. It's about giving up rejecting yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you should not criticize, but rather praise. It's about telling them what you want without arguing. It's about being by yourself in a room and still feeling whole. You shouldn't expect a relationship to make you whole. They're meant to make the love you've already made room for stronger. Your energy starts to say, "I don't need you to choose me to feel chosen." The more you believe that you are enough just the way you are. And that's where things start to change, my love. If you stop producing, the right people will no longer expect it from you. When you stop keeping quiet, the right love will start to listen. When you stop asking for permission to feel good about yourself, the mirror starts to show you what was always true. The old pain, the one that begged to be picked, starts to get better. Because you don't want to be saved anymore. You're getting better at going back. Say this out loud with your hand over your heart. I belong to me. Not when everything is fine. Not if they pick me. Right now. Not as a phrase to fix, but as a memory that you are slowly bringing back to life. Still, there will be times when the pain is loud. There will still be days when not hearing back feels like someone doesn't think you're worth anything. It's all right. You are a person. Healing doesn't get rid of pain. It shows you how to stay strong in the face of it. So when those times come up, gently ask yourself, what part of me still thinks I have to work for love? What does it feel like to pick myself right now? How can I let my nervous system know that I am safe inside? Slowly, those questions start to change the way you think about the truth. Stop letting their feelings affect how much you value them. Your peace stops shaking when they're not there, because you see yourself. You stop shrinking in places where no one else can see you. This is the main change, the moment of change. The point at which approval from other people is no longer necessary for your happiness. What about the other side? Not ideal or constant happiness, but a place to call home inside yourself. You deserve a place where your voice is heard and your needs are met. Your heart doesn't need to be won. This is your chance to start a movement, make a soft return, or remember. Hey there, sweetheart. If your heart is tired of waiting to be picked, or your soul is worn out from proving and performing, let's sit down together right now and start the gentle work of untying the knots. This work is holy, not because it's big or exciting, but because you own it. It's not noisy, deep, true. We're not just talking about adults who check their phone too much or stay too long in places they've outgrown when we say, heal the need to be chosen. The kid inside us is being talked to, the little one who once asked in silence, what do I have to be so they won't leave? That question wasn't asked yesterday. It began with things that looked like small things but were really big in size, in looks. When you are told to be better, easier, or quieter, so that little inner being thought, maybe if I work harder, someone will want me. Now let's go see her, not to make her better, but to see her. If you feel safe, close your eyes. Think of her, not really well, just enough. Look at her body language and eyes, the way she might not have known she was holding her breath. Now tell her something she's been waiting to hear. Say it softly. You are wanted. You are seen. You didn't have to earn it. Let her feel it. The child inside of you hears even if the adult mind doesn't believe. So this is what it means to reparent. Not giving you back what you lost, but becoming what you've always needed. Giving safety where once there was confusion. Being tender where there used to be show. Little by little, that child stops looking in every room to see if you're looking at her. She knows she has you. Let's slowly change what the word chosen means. It's been turned around, right? It's now a prize, a platform, and we need to get to it. What if, though, being picked was never meant to be about someone else? What if it was always meant to be a promise inside? Every day you refuse to give in to what wants you to shrink, you make a choice for yourself. You choose yourself every time you walk away from energy that hurts instead of heals. Every time you say, I matter, in the middle of a thought, you build something new. You can still love other people even if you choose to love yourself. It means you stop leaving yourself open to love. This choice is made in the real world. It's not just purpose. Alignment helps you feel good about yourself again. You need more than just words. You need words that walk with you as you make your limits, choices, and holy yeses and holy nos. Every thought-out deed is a small stone in the temple of your own safety. It tells your nervous system, we are the table now. We don't have to earn a spot at it. Let's also talk about how pain is romanticized. Too often we mistake lack for depth. We call the pain we feel for someone who doesn't give in passion. How we confuse desire for love with love because we're used to working for love. Love doesn't hurt you, though. Love is what keeps you going when things are bad. Love isn't the storm. Love is the safe place. Now let go of the dream, of the person who made you feel small and then called you emotional for it, of the story and it was your job to make them change their minds. Of the pain that told you they might stay next time. Love, put it down. It's too heavy, and you never had the right to carry it. Instead, say these words to yourself as you get ready to sleep tonight. It's okay to be who you are. You don't have to show yourself to be worthy. You don't have to be chosen. You already choose yourself. Say them slowly. Say them like bedtime songs. Say them over and over until your body starts to believe you. Repeating something is not stupid. It's reprogramming. You heal a thread every time you choose kindness where you once chose silence. The goal is not to erase the hurt. It's about making sense of it. You don't have to be perfect. Being true to yourself is all you need to do. To the person who always had hope. For the person who is slowly learning not to chase but to come home. When you get home, you might find something you didn't expect. A quiet that doesn't need your attention. A pleasure that doesn't need permission. A self that doesn't need to wait and is already whole. Now it's your turn, your gift, your brand new thing. Life loves you always, through every tear and every victory. I agree with you. And once you start the holy act of choosing yourself every day, carefully and with kindness, you start to notice something you might not have expected. Room. There is now space where there was once desire. There is now stillness where there was grabbing. A breath out where there was only effort before. This is where the skills start to grow, not because of force, but because of freedom. Let us look at them slowly. It's like picking daisies one by one, each with its own color and healing power. You stop settling when you choose yourself, not because you're proud, but because you know what you want. You no longer want to give up your limits in exchange for affectionate breadcrumbs. The table where you used to wait starts to look small next to the one you're making with your own truth. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You can tell when something is squeezing, shrinking, or turning. You take a deep breath and say, "Not for me," instead of putting up with it. And here's the cool thing. The people, events, and chances that seemed out of reach at first start to respond to your energy, not your striving. You become very attractive. There's no reason to try harder. Your power is no longer being lost to places that can't hold it, though. This is what balance gives you. It also doesn't roar. It makes a hum. It talks to you through small pleasures like peace in your chest, ease in your spine, and laughing without being asked. Picking yourself is not the same as turning away other people. It's a way to make peace with your soul. When you make peace with someone, you start to feel safe even when you're by yourself. Not the kind of alone that hurts, but the kind that feeds. You take small sips of tea. You read yourself your best lines out loud. You don't check for texts before going to sleep, not because nobody is important, but because being with you isn't a punishment anymore. You're lucky to have it. Peace starts to stick with you, and confidence starts to grow in places that haven't been praised before. It doesn't matter how other people see you anymore. Your view of yourself when no one else is around shapes who you are. It goes up when you do things that are in line with your values, when saying no is just as holy as saying yes, when your voice shakes, but you still use it. Let's make this clear. You can't hear confidence over everything else. It's the person who walks into a room and instantly feels like they fit there. And finally, picking yourself breaks old patterns, but not all at once. It takes time. Patterns that used to run quietly, like abandonment, chasing, and performance, start to lose their hold. You can tell who they are before they take over. You take a deep breath. You take a break. You make a different choice. And by making that choice, you're not just fixing yourself. You are making your family tree better. You are healing the child who needed to be saved in the past. You are fixing the person you will be in the future. One day, she will wake up and smile, not because everything is fine, but because she knows I am no longer waiting to be picked. Now I belong to myself. Let's take a break now. Let this fact sink in. I choose to be myself without saying sorry. I believe what lines up. I let go of what drains. My heart is my home. This is not a place to go. It's a service. Please stay close for one more second, my love. Do not hold yourself up. Draw in your breath. Let these words go where they need to go. You're not too much. It's easy to love you. There's no need to wait for proof. You're just remembering the truth. This is the truth. When someone picks you, that's not the start of real love. When you choose to be yourself, not as a last option, but as a sacred return, real love starts. You were never meant to beg for little bits of love. You were never meant to get smaller so someone else could get bigger. It was never meant for you to chase what your soul is meant to be. Put your hand over your heart. Say the vow that will change everything. I'm done waiting to be picked. I choose me. I respect myself. Everything beautiful comes from this place of wholeness. Your story doesn't end here. It's the start of your return home. Oh, you're so strong when you remember. You were the one they were sure would come along.